And hello, South Florida. Hello to real estate fans all over America and even the world. My name is Eric Wilner, and welcome to another live edition of The Real Estate Show, heard here live Monday through Friday. That's 5 days a week, 5 p.m. in the afternoon. That's Eastern time. And 5 different channels that you can find us on. You can find us on the AM. You can find us on the FM, on the apps, all of which are tied to WWNN Money Talk Radio. And then you can also find us on our website, if all else fails. This is easy to remember, the automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com. You can click on that website, listen to us live at 5. You can listen to us live only at 5. And then any other time you can listen to the recording, but you can do that at any time on demand at your convenience. Then you can also download the podcast version, take it offline if you want. And finally, you can always find us on Facebook, and that's facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. That's The Real Estate Show. You'll find us there, and you can watch us there as well. If you don't have a Facebook page, that's what you do. Put just facebook.com in front of it. Facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. Anyway, we got a great show for you today as we continue on our path discussing the very important, in fact, you guys voted for it. We had a poll last week, whether what was more important, credit or equity, to a real estate transaction, more importantly, to your real estate transaction. And as I mentioned when we revealed the results of the poll, that it was overwhelmingly in favor of credit, probably because credit is such an important part of this process, probably one of the least understood parts of this process. And so I wanted to take this week and demystify that. Now, on our Mondays, we call it our Mondays on a Mission edition of the Real Estate Show. Every single Monday, what we do is we pick a topic in the real estate world, and then we break it down, define it, and then we set an agenda, which is what we did yesterday. And we talked about the definition of credit scores, and a little bit about how it is calculated. What are the 5 components, for example? And basically, what it really is, it's an attempt to take a snapshot of you and how you manage credit, right? So it's drawn from information found in the credit reports from the 3 major credit reporting agencies we talked about, which those were Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Those are the 3. There's no others. There's lots of different credit companies, and there's lots of companies that sell credit reports. But if it ain't coming from those 3, then it's a resale of your credit information, which may or may not be a good thing. You may be paying a little bit extra for it, but you may be paying for it in a different digested form, and maybe with some bells and whistles and some tools to help you improve on it. So you got to weigh those things in when you're looking at it. But if you haven't checked your credit score lately, I would say at the very least minimum once a year. Do it when you do your annual physical. Do a credit physical checkup also. Now, there are a number of free services. And yesterday, for example, we gave out free annualcreditreport.com, which is a government mandated free site that you can go there and you can get individually each one of those sites. By the way, some of those paid sites, what they do is that they merge the 3 together, and it may be helpful. That's what a lot of mortgage companies actually do, is that they hire these services that do what's called a tri-merge. They get all of the reported information from each of the 3 bureaus, put it into one handy dandy, easy to read format, and most importantly, score it. And that's done mostly according to what most people have come to call or use interchangeably for the credit score, your FICO score. Believe it or not, that is a proprietary owned formula that the credit bureaus license. That it's kind of like the formula to Coca-Cola. Nobody really knows what it is. They know, they know the ingredients. They don't know the exact proportions. But believe it or not, not only is there a FICO score that most people talk about, which is the principal one that the mortgage companies use, but there's an auto loan FICO. There is a boat loan FICO. There is a rental FICO. They now have all these different ones that sort of minimize the effect, if it's not apropos for that, that credit decision. There's different version, but you want the main, like Coke Original. You want the main FICO score. Now, FICO isn't the only one. There are other scores, and I gave out yesterday another website called Credit Karma, which is another free site, and they have their version of your credit score. And that gives you at least an idea. It's kind of like people go to Zillow, not because Zillow is an official appraisal or that they use official appraisal methods, but it gets you close enough based on currents for sale, current solds, and similar properties nearby. What Zillow is to the real estate market, probably Credit Karma is to the credit world. So if you've been able to check your credit score lately using one of those free, and you can go on and look at your credit score as many times, as often as you want, for example, on that Credit Karma one, and don't get paid a dollar. It's free, by the way, so that's nothing for them to pay me. But they will do what's called a soft pull, meaning that it's not an inquiry that affects your score. So that's a good place to start, one of many good places to start, that will give you an idea of what your credit is. Now, if you want the real deal directly from the credit bureaus, that's where the annualcreditreport.com. And on that site, they'll give you the actual factual data, just no credit score. If you want the credit score, there's a little upcharge for that. The courts didn't require them to give you a credit score. That's something that they also have to pay for and license in order to give out. So since they have to pay for it, I guess the government, and this was back a number of years ago, there was a major class action lawsuit against the credit bureaus because there was so much erroneous information. And like I said in our show yesterday, it is not a surprise that there are a lot of errors. Number one, there's human error, data input. There's the volume error, just because just think about the billions and billions of transactions that happen each day that then get reported to the credit bureaus, and then the payments on a monthly basis, and then the statements. There is literally, a huge ocean or oceans of information that funnel through to the credit bureaus. So in their way of saying, listen, we garbage in, garbage out. So if somebody gives bad information on you, and we're not even talking about fraud and intentional bad information, but just in the course of the volume, the methods that the credit information is accumulated, there's bound to be errors. There's even I would call them innocent errors, right? How many John Smiths are there in the United States? And when somebody reports John Smith's credit, which John Smith, will the real John Smith who just bought something please stand up? And so it's with all these ones and zeros, the digits out there, there are errors. And so it is the credit bureau's responsibility to report accurately what they have, but it is your responsibility, me and you, to monitor the information that is being accumulated about us, right? They're accumulating it whether you want them or not to. All information is being accumulated, it is being stored, and then resold. And so obviously it can affect your ability to get a loan, what kind of a loan, how much of a loan, the interest rate and the terms of the loan. It will affect everything from insurances, all of them, and it will affect employment, a lot of them, and a whole bunch of other things. Your ability even to rent nowadays, your ability to buy a car nowadays, and pretty soon, what do you think? Do you think they're going to start putting information, because also on your credit reports often are information from the public records, like judgments, liens, foreclosures, bankruptcies, etc. Are they going to start putting on whether you've been vaccinated or not? Who knows? But the bottom line is that you got to monitor and maintain. And speaking of which, medical collections, which used to be a big deal on credit reports, are easier to remove. And that's what I want to kind of talk about today. You can affect and influence, in fact, by all means, your behavior influences what's on your credit bureau. But obviously, if the information that gets there is either wrong, old, inaccurate, I've seen on my own credit report inaccurate addresses. Never lived at that address before, which, by the way, could be an indication of potential fraud. And so nowadays there are services, and if you need a good one, let us know, that will monitor any new activity on your credit report and then send you an email updates on that, or maybe send you an annual or quarterly or monthly update on that. And I know some services are better than others for sure. And so that kind of puts us all in the perspective of what it is. The score is used by roughly 90%. And I was looking into some of these numbers now, of financial institutions when considering giving you a loan or a line of credit or anything like that. So it's important. I will tell you, probably, if it is probably single-handedly the most important single digit or single set of numbers, more important, I would even say, because I used to ask, what do you think is the most important number yet? My Social Security, right? Because it ties, it's an identification. Nowadays, it's being used less and less. It's required to be private. And it doesn't have, my Social Security doesn't get me a loan. It ties the information to me, but it doesn't get me the loan. The credit score, on the other hand, has a whole different effect on that. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here. A few words from our sponsors. You're listening to The Real Estate Show here. On our topic is credit. By the way, when we come back, I'm going to tell you about tonight. We have a free workshop for those of you who are interested in learning more about the programs for first-time home buyers, whether it be down payment assistance, whether it be credit. If you want to learn more about that, text the word credit to the following number and get ready to type it in your phone, text it, keep it, and store it there. This number never changes, and it's 561-861-2366. There's no charge on our part. If your cell company charges you something, that's there. But this is an absolutely free call, free information, and we'll get you a free invitation to our workshop tonight at 7:30, 561-861-2366. That's where you text the word credit. I'm going to take my break, but I will be right back. So this is the wildest thing, and I don't know if I press something different, but I see there's a number of people on the recording, which of course is never accurate, just like Zillow and just like Credit Karma. It's never exactly right. But I see no names. I see no nothing. So today I'm operating blindly. So I'm very excited about our workshop today. This is our second one. Our first one was wonderful. In fact, it was a free Zoom call, so you get to attend it from anywhere. And the neat thing about it is that everyone that jumped on that call stayed the entire time, which tells me that the information was good the whole way. So credit to 561-861-2366. And welcome back. For those of you just joining us here on The Real Estate Show, we are South Florida's #1 program about real estate. We are America's longest running daily radio show about real estate. And there's only one reason and one possibility that could be, is because we are great information through good times, through the bad times, through the ups and downs of the market, through the Great Recession back in 2008, 9, 10, we were constantly giving great information, helping real estate investors out of the problems that they were in, helping homeowners to keep the homes that they had. And if you're one of those people now that has been renting since then and wondering, how do I get back into my little piece of the American dream, an affordable, sustainable, stable place to live, then come to one of our workshops. All you have to do to get an invitation is text the word credit to 561-861-2366. That's 561-861-2366. You're going to get a response. And then following that, we will send you the link invitation for you to attend our Zoom free, no cost, no obligations. Just obviously nowadays with the funny things that happen on Zoom, you got to register to get on there just to make sure that everyone that's there is serious. But we're going to be serious, and yours truly will be in there live in the workshop. You'll be able to ask questions. You're going to get lots of information just like you're getting here right now. Today, though, we're talking specifically about credit, which is, as we mentioned, calculated from the formula. Just a quick review of those 5 critical variables that are part of your credit score. Number 1, payment history. Number 2, the amounts that you owe, the length of your credit history or of that trade line. So each trade line is measured on how you paying it, what's the payment history on that, all clean, all good, the longer the better. And then how much is it? A large amount? Is it an insignificant amount that you own? Then they look at overall the credit mix. What kind of credit do you have? Is it all little credit cards, or do you have a bunch of mortgages? Isn't there a difference between the level of sophistication? So obviously one credit score would in fact be justifiably more than the other. How same with the credit histories. How much new credit do you have? Have you are you applying for more? That's why the inquiries do affect it in terms of score. And so just keep in mind, and we're going to be talking about this throughout the week as we dive deeper and deeper into it. But so now you got the formula. The scores determine the interest paid on loans. So a good score saves you a ton of money. A ton of money. Think about it. 2% on a mortgage. Just take a $100,000 mortgage. 2% a year would be $2,000 times 30. That's $60,000 on a little $100,000 mortgage. Think about that. On $1 million mortgage, it could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is why this conversation about credit, why you want the information we're going to send you when you text the word credit to 561-861-2366, in addition to the invitation, the free invitation to our first-time homebuyer workshop today. We're calling it, by the way, the title I think is really cool. It's called the Fearless First-Time Homebuyers. And remember, because in case you're new to the show, just listening to us, first-time homebuyer does not mean never owned a home. It just means that if you have not been on title in the last 3 years, that's it, last 3 years. So you could have been on title back in 2008, 2009, all the way up to, what are you, 21? So you could have been a homeowner in 2016, lost the house or sold out. And now 3 years off the records, you're now considered a first-time homebuyer, which makes you eligible for down payment assistance, makes you eligible for special loan programs for first-time homebuyers with lower interest rates, lower down payments. And then when you put that together with the down payment assistance, I will say, as I always love repeating this, you show me somebody who is coachable and cooperative and can show me that they can afford their rent payment, I'll show you somebody that I will guaranteed make a home owner. So show me that you're coachable, show me that you're cooperative, and show me that you can afford the monthly payment. Everything else, I don't care about your past credit scores. I'll help you fix that. I don't care if you don't have a down payment. We even have work for equity programs coming along right now. So that's really cool. Susanna was just saying, Eric, thank you. I received my code for tonight's Fearless First-Time Homebuyers Workshop. See you there tonight, and I will. Individuals, and this is important, let's understand the range of credit scores. They go from about 350 if you can spell your name. If you can't spell your name, you might not even get a credit score. If you have no history, you might not get a credit score. And so we can create a credit score in very short order, a matter of days. maybe weeks if it takes longer for some of these things to register and get verified, but not months and years like you often hear people having to wait 7 years for something to fall off their credit score. Imagine days or weeks. And if you want to find out more about that, you want to get our report, text the word credit to 561-861-2366. Now, so 350 on the low end. So it kind of goes like, nothing, 350, all the way up to 850. And I used to say in my early days when credit scores first came out, if you can walk on water, then you probably have an 850 credit score. Today, I know a number of people who have 850 credit scores, and we can help you get there also. If you have 700 credit scores and you think that's great, you should see what happens when you're an 800 credit score and above. You get offers that the 700s don't get. In the 700s, you get offers that the 600s don't get, and so on and so forth. But a score between 740, so 700 is considered average, believe it or not. 740 to 850 suggests the individual has been consistently responsible, while scores 700 to 750 are considered above average, but still average. So individuals with low credit scores, and that's below 600. So 600 to 700 is sort of that gray area. There are programs, typically mortgages started around 620. But in the 600s to up to 700, you're in sort of a gray area, depending what you're trying to do, and probably going to require a little bit more of a down payment. But below 600, you can take steps to improve them, such as making payments on time, important, such as cutting down debt levels, important, if possible, right? And maintaining zero balances on unused cards, which may or may not. You see, we have a program that I can plug your credit score into my program, and immediately, I didn't say tomorrow, next week, I said immediately, will tell me how much of a credit pop I can give you. That means how can I boost your score 10, 20, 50, sometimes more, in literally instantly. And so that's one thing that we can do. And that's why, like I said, if you happen by accident, by luck, and I'll call it good luck, be listening to the Real Estate Show now, and credit is a concern at any level, 500, 600, 700, then you definitely want to schedule, and you can go either onto our website at automaticlandlord.com, or you can go right on our Facebook page at The Real Estate Show and schedule an appointment right now while I'm talking here. It all happens automatically. Automatic Landlord, right? It all happens that way. Send us a message or text us the word credit. It'll all end up in the same place, and we'll have some contact. If you've not yet established credit, you might want to talk to us, because we can literally create credit. If you're paying rent, if you've got utility bills, if you're making payments somewhere, you know who can create a credit score for you. You already have it. It's just not being documented. And that's what we'll do. So those are our basics for our tools, tips, and techniques. Tomorrow, we've got information for you. We're going to talk about the news and the marketplace and where people are in this pandemic with credit, with the evictions the moratorium being lifted. How's that affecting credit? And a whole bunch more. So keep it tuned here. Join us again, same place, same time tomorrow. Until then, this is your host, Eric Wilner, for The Real Estate Show. Drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. Bye-bye. All right.